positive 6, right? So I know my bigger number has to be positive, because it's positive 6. If it was negative 6, I know my bigger number would have to be negative. That's just the simple addition, subtraction stuff. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. We'll talk more about it later. But does that help? Maybe a little bit. If we look back at this, see how this here was positive 36? So I know right away that my signs are going to be the same. Whatever I get in my numbers down here, they're going to be the same. They're either going to be both positive or both negative. If I look down here, this is negative 15, so that tells me they're both going to be negative. They have to be. Does that make sense? A little bit of a trick for you as you guys are helping find yourself. Again, if it's not making sense to you right now, don't worry about it. With a little bit more practice with it, it'll make a little bit more sense. Let's look here at x squared plus x and minus 30. So, we said earlier, first time to last, add up to the middle. So two numbers that multiply to give me negative 30 and add to give me 1. Don't write x. It's the number in front of x, which is 1. So what two numbers multiply to give you negative 30 but add to give you 1?
1 and 30.
What?
1 and 30.
1 and 30.
Negative 1 and
6 and negative 5. The 6 and negative 5 add up to give you 1? Yeah. So positive 6 and negative 5. Positive 6 and negative 5. Check them. Does that make sense? Does that work?
Yeah.
6 times negative 5. Is that negative 30? Yes. 6 plus negative 5. Does that give you positive 1? Yes. Coefficients 1, so I am done. So x plus 6, x minus 5. Now, these last two I want to talk about just a little bit. E, not so much as F, my second E and my second F. But this one, same thing, it's a trinomial, first time to last.
First time to last, add it to the middle.
Thank you, Malik. My first step here is what? B.
First time to last, add it to the middle.
So I need two numbers that will multiply to give you negative 18 and add to give you negative 3. What are two numbers that multiply to give you negative 18 and add to give you negative 3? 6 and 3. Are they both positive, both negative, or are they opposite signs? Okay.
It'd be negative 3 plus 6. And negative 3 times 6. I think. Yeah. Not right. That's 3. What are you guessing? Negative 6 times negative
1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6.
So 6 is a negative.
Now, Malik, if we go back and look, it was negative 18, so I know my signs are going to be different. What number has to be bigger, the positive or the negative one? Yeah, so my bigger number has to be negative. So it is, you're right, it is 6 and 3, but it's going to be negative 6 and positive 3. Negative 6 and positive 3. Does that make sense? Does that make sense what I just said? Coefficients 1, so I am x minus 6, x plus 3. This last one, I just want to show it to you. The good news is you don't do anything different. Here's the only difference. Instead of having x minus 6 and x plus 3, it's going to be, where these two numbers are, the 6 and the 3, you're going to have y's on this last one. See how the last one you get a y squared and it's an xy in the middle? That's the only difference. Your two quantities are going to be x and something y. X and something y. That's the only difference. How you find those numbers doesn't change. It's still just first time to last added to the middle. All right? Yes?
If there's 3 variables, like...
There won't be. So first time to last, add them to the middle. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 25, but add to give me negative 10. What do you guys think? -5 and -5. That looks good to me. -5, -5. My coefficient's 1, so I am... So now I have x minus 5y. Remember I told you it was going to be x and then something y. And x minus 5y.
5y becomes the...
Yeah, we tell it the y squared is the next y in the middle. You won't see a lot of those. That's a little bit of a advanced one. Yes. Question.